Hey everyone, how's it growing? My name is Miss Simon and I will be your garden teacher this year. This is my third year taking care of the Montecito Union School Garden, which means if you're in second grade now, I have already met you. I met you in kindergarten. So that's really exciting that I'll be having you in my class again. Those of you that are new to the school in kindergarten, I'm so excited for you to be here and I can't wait for you to see the garden. So it is going to be a little different this year because I can't actually be in the same space with you. So I will be recording these virtual video lessons, sending them to your teachers, and also giving them activities for you guys to do in the garden. So for this week, I'm going to take you on a tour of your garden and kind of show you what kind of plants are here, why they're here, and then you will get a chance to come here in person and see it for yourself. So I hope you enjoy the tour. If you have any questions about it at all, your teacher can always email me and I will gladly answer your garden questions for you. Before you get a chance to explore the garden, I want to go over a few garden agreements with you. I call these the 4 Ps, and we should always be respecting the 4 Ps. The first P is people. We're going to respect each other, our teachers, and all of our staff members inside the garden. The second P is place. I want you to respect the area. That means we shouldn't be pulling plants apart, we shouldn't be using tools incorrectly, things like that. The third P are the plants. We need to respect the plants and always ask before you pick something. Oftentimes there's going to be a nice ripe strawberry for you, or maybe a fresh leaf of lettuce. But I always want you to ask your teacher if it's an appropriate time to be picking the plants. Let's see, and the fourth P is the pollinators. So the pollinators are animals and insects that live in the garden. If you see a spider, leave it alone. It's not doing any harm to you, and it's actually helping the garden by eating some of the pests that live here. So please respect all living things here, including insects that might scare you or make you a little nervous. So now that we know the 4 Ps, people, place, plants, and pollinators, I trust you that you're gonna respect those agreements. Thank you. Starting from this side of the garden, we have our worm bin here on the left. This is where a lot of our food scraps go, and they feed the worms in here and they create new garden soil for us. So you can see there's a lot of old food in here, and you can see some of the worms climbing the side of the bin. Over here we have a little strawberry patch. You can see there are a few little strawberries. This is where most of our garden beds are, but we do have a few to the right as well. So in here, I just recently planted some new little baby plants. You can see here, this is a dill plant, and over here, we have a little curly kale plant. So in this garden bed, you might also see some what looks like dried grass. Here are a few lettuce plants. This dried grass helps to keep the moisture in the soil so that they can absorb as much water as possible before the sun comes out and evaporates the water. The grass also helps to suppress the weeds from growing, so it has 2 main purposes. Over on this side, we have some really beautiful zinnia flowers that are blooming. This is a zinnia. They come in a lot of different colors, but right now we have some pink ones. Over in this bed, you can see our marigold plant is really happy and beautiful right now. Marigolds are actually edible, so you can eat the flower petals. Down in here, we have some baby cauliflower plants and also some dino kale. These yellow flowers are a part of a really important symbiotic relationship, which we'll talk about another time. But for now, just know that these are our milkweed plants, and these help the monarch butterflies and caterpillars. This is our herb garden. Over here we have some basil. This is some sage. This is a plant called borage. And when it blooms, it gets these edible, super sweet purple flowers. This one is oregano, good on pasta and Italian dishes. These are chives. They're kind of like a mild onion. This one here is thyme. Thyme is a common herb used during Thanksgiving. We also have some mint here, which is pretty tasty and gives you fresh breath, and a purple basil too. In this garden bed, again, we have lots of grass to mulch the bed and some baby plants in here, but they're a little different. This one here is going to be a celery. We have another dill, just like before, and more cauliflower and kale. In this bed, we have a whole different blend of different plants. For instance, we have some cabbage that is ready to harvest, but it looks like some bugs got to it first. We'll just have to cut that part off. We also have some nasturtium. These leaves and these flowers are edible. Pretty fun. And also, here's a chard plant. These are two of my favorite plants. This is a sage, a white sage, and this one is lemon verbena. It has a super sweet lemony scent that you can put in your water bottle to give it flavor. I can't wait for you guys to smell these. One of my favorite things growing in the garden right now are these cucamelons. They look like little mini watermelons, but they actually taste like cucumbers with a little hint of lime. They're super cute, and you can just pop the whole thing in your mouth and eat it. They're growing on a vine. Finally, over here are our carrots. So all of these feathery looking leaves are going to be carrots, but you can't see them yet because carrots are root vegetables. So the part that we eat is actually growing underground right now. Alright, so for today, after you see this video, you're gonna get to take your own tour and explore the garden. My goals for you are to find a smelly plant here, something that smells good, maybe not so good. I just want you to find one. And the best way to do that is to just use your nose. You can find a leaf, like how about this mint leaf here? And if you rub it together a little bit like this, it's actually gonna smell stronger. So you can experiment, find a few different plants and see if they smell good to you. Another goal I have for you is to try to find an insect in the garden. That could be anything from a worm, a roly-poly, maybe even a spider, or a bee. I just want you to find one and observe it for a moment. See what it's doing. Notice what it's doing. Maybe ask yourself questions about it.